Okay. Hi. Hi, hello. Hi, hello, hello, hi. Hi, hello, hi. Hello, hi, hello, hi. Hi, Ohio. Specifically. Because that's the only, I know that, I know my first listener is probably going to be from Ohio. Hi. I love you. Okay, hi. Hello, and welcome to the disGusting Podcast. My viewfinder's down there. It's very inconvenient. But I need to make sure that I stay in frame or else, because my green screen's really short. It doesn't matter. Hi, welcome to my podcast. Welcome to the disGusting Podcast. This is the disGusting Podcast. I just said that. Hi. Wow, this is a mess. Welcome to the disGusting Podcast with Gus, Welcome to the disGusting Podcast with Gus. Welcome to the disGusting Podcast with Gus, where we push the limits. Wow. 3 minutes in and I can't even get a good take. Welcome to the disGusting Podcast, where we push the limits of what defines disgusting. Is that right? Welcome to the disGusting Podcast, where we push the limits of what defines the word disgusting, as we dissect one of 4 different categories every Sunday. Disgusting creatures, disgusting horror media, disgusting paranormal, and disgusting true crime. Okay, hi. My name is Gus, and I'm obsessed with everything that you could consider disgusting, right? What I find morbidly fascinating, other people might not. So, yeah, we're here to talk about everything and anything that anyone could consider disgusting. So, why am I calling this podcast disgusting, you ask? Because let's look at the definition. I asked Google, and she said, disgusting means arousing revulsion or strong indignation. So, arousing revulsion. Arousing as in like provoking. So, the word arousing means evoke or awaken, excite or provoke someone to anger or strong emotions, excite sexually, or awake someone from sleep. So, all of those arouse, that's arousing. Arousing revulsion, right? So, revulsion. A sense of disgust and loathing, unadulterated loathing, for your face, your voice, your clothing. Let's just say I loathe it all. Also, I looked up what unadulterated meant just for fun, not mixed or diluted with any different or extra elements, complete and absolute. Just in case you wanted to know what unadulterated meant. Indignation means anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. So, I think in this particular definition, they could have just used the word provoke, provoking revulsion. Like, that makes more sense to me. But the fact that they used arousing revulsion, arousing in the way that you would typically think it means, it's so pure, so strong. I love this consistent problem that I'm having that I don't know how to fix. It's incredible. For your face, your voice, your clothing. Arousing revulsion. It's a very, very intriguing juxtaposition. I really, really like those words next to each other for some reason. I just think arousing revulsion. It's like you're attracted to something, but you're also really repulsed by it. Like, that, I think, perfectly defines this podcast. Like, let's be real. We're going to be talking about different things every single week. Basically, every Sunday of the month, there's 4 Sundays in a month, occasionally a 5th, and you'll get a little fun bonus episode. But basically, each Sunday, we're going to be talking about something different. So we have disgusting creatures, disgusting horror media, disgusting paranormal, and disgusting true crime. So we're going to be talking about all things and anything considered quote-unquote disgusting by society, right? So I know quite a bit about being called disgusting. Hi. I'm gay, and if that's an issue for you, you can leave. You don't need to watch this podcast, and I don't really care. So being called disgusting is not something that's foreign to me. What some people define as disgusting, so like what really is disgusting? Just because something is disgusting to you doesn't mean it's disgusting to me. Disgusting is subjective. So we're going to be talking about a lot of really intense subjects. This is the disGusting Podcast. We're talking about disgusting things. I'm researching my first true crime episode, and wow, does disgusting really fit for it? We're going to be talking about some really, really dark stuff. So this is like kind of a blanket trigger warning. I'll give you more detailed trigger warnings as we get into those episodes. But even for paranormal and even for like creatures, I mean, less for creatures, but more like horror movies and horror media. I'm calling it horror media because I want to talk about horror TV shows too, and potentially horror video games. I think that could be fun, but we'll get there. Mostly horror movies and horror TV shows is what I want to focus on. But like horror movies depict the most traumatic things to ever happen and some really taboo subjects, which is personally why I love horror movies. Everyone goes through trauma. That's not a secret. Everyone goes through trauma. So the fact that horror movies touch on those topics that nobody wants to talk about, that's why I like horror movies. And that's why I want to talk about them with you guys. Why did I do that? So this is like a blanket kind of trigger warning. This podcast might not be for you if really touchy, I wouldn't even say touchy subjects. We're just going to be talking about the darkest of the dark, especially in the true crime episodes. But even in the paranormal ones, demons, possession, death, we're going to be talking about a lot of dark things on this podcast, which is kind of the point. And I'm hoping that's why you're here. And so, I mean, like, I get triggered by stuff too. I don't want to say I don't want to put that message across that I'm trying to say that it's like not okay to be triggered by stuff or anything like that. I'm not going to sit here and try to justify myself, but this podcast is for a very specific audience. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. He was talking about sucking dick and cock, like time and place. And he did it at my birthday dinner. Like, if you got that reference, then you can stay. Then you can stay. If you haven't gotten that reference, I encourage you to go find. There's multiple 5-hour long videos about Dramageddon 2. Go look into it. It's very fun to watch the downfall of people that are despicable. Look, I'm not about the negativity and preying on the downfall of people. But when you're certain people that I'm not going to name for legal reasons, okay. Okay, I'm just not. We're going to move on. All of that to say, though, I don't take any of this lightly. So, also blanket disclaimer, I am not qualified for anything. This is entertainment. I'm not pretending to be someone I'm not. I'm not pretending to be anything I'm not. This is for entertainment, and for entertainment only. I do not have a teaching degree. I do my research, and I feel like I research thoroughly, and I am not a teacher, and I'm not qualified to be teaching you guys anything, okay? This is for entertainment and for quote unquote fun, except this is how we cope, okay? I'm not deriving fun from people suffering. I want to make that clear, that very, very clear. But this podcast is more about diving into the more disgusting parts of this world. Because sometimes it's easier to cope with them when you can understand them better. At least that's how I see it. I feel like if I can look into the mind of a serial killer and understand what he's doing, which does not justify their actions, it does not make it okay. There's two things can be true at the same time. You can feel bad that a serial killer was raised terribly, and I don't even, if you don't understand this concept, the concept of nuance and the concept of two things being true at the same time, that a serial killer who murdered people, real life people that are not just names and pictures on a screen, that are real life, used to be living people with families and loved ones and lives that they can no longer live. I forgot where I was going with that. Can exist at the same time as a traumatized little boy or girl, or whoever, that may have had some of the most horrific things done to them as well. That does not justify their actions. It doesn't make it okay. Those people should not have died. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? If you cannot perceive this nuance, that two things can be true, the serial killer can be traumatized and he also can have killed these victims and still deserves to be punished, but you can still feel sympathy for the little boy that was hurt. That, there needs to be nuance in these conversations. And I'm going to bring those into my conversations about these subjects. And if that is not something that you can perceive or handle, do not watch this podcast. Do not listen to this podcast. I do not want you here. I'm sorry. This is not for you. I'm sorry if that sounds mean or rude, but I'm trying to cultivate a very specific audience. So Please come into this with an open mind and nuance in mind. 2 things can be true. 3 things can be true. 8 things can be true at the same time. Nothing in this world is black and white. Please understand that. Okay, so now that I'm off my little soapbox, which, let's be real, this entire podcast is my soapbox, so you asked for it by signing up. But now that I'm off my little soapbox, and I gave you guys my little disclaimer, my little trigger warning, let's see, do I have any other disclaimers? So, on the note of me always trying to get my research correct, if I ever get anything wrong and you guys let me know I got something wrong or I find out other information later, I'm going to try to do my best to always put in the show notes of those episodes like, hey, in this future episode, I corrected this statement. So if you want to check out the correct information, go here. And so I'll have like a section at the beginning of my episodes for some housekeeping. I also kind of want a little section for a little like catch up. Like, hi, this is kind of what I'm doing in my life. And I'll give like timestamps and stuff if you want to skip that. You don't need to hear any of that. We can get right to the video, whatever. But yeah, this is just an introduction. This right here, what we're doing is just a little bit of an introduction. I want to reserve the disgusting handle, quote unquote. I don't want anyone else to take it. I doubt anyone's going to, but this is just disgusting podcast. There's another podcast. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it has disgusting in the name. I'm looking it up. It's called the Bloody Disgusting Podcast. I have not listened to it, but if I'm disgusting podcast, I might as well shout out the Bloody Disgusting Podcast because we do have similar names. I'm not trying to come for you, I promise. I have not listened to your show. I actually kind of want to just to see what it's about. They're on episode 207. That's pretty cool. What is it? Oh, cool. They talk about upcoming horror movie series and releases. If you need to know the horror highlights, weekly themes, trending topics, and upcoming horror movie releases and movie series releases, join us and listen for free. Okay, I'm going to follow them. I just followed you guys. You guys seem cool. That actually sounds right up my alley. But I will be talking about horror movies and horror media and horror cinema. And I think I labeled it horror media. We're talking about horror TV shows and horror movies. But that's only one Sunday each month. The rest of the Sundays and the rest of my episodes are going to be about other stuff. So I don't want it to sound like I'm copying them or anything. I did not know they existed when I came up with my name. So credit where credit's due. They sound, I'm going to listen to their podcast. I think they sound pretty cool. So, anyway, shout out to you guys. You seem cool. So yeah, this is like a little bit of a test. I just kind of want to upload it and see how the podcasting works and how everything works and sending the link. And I just want to test out and test everything out. That's what this is. A little bit of a test, a little bit of a preview, a little bit of a introduction. I already filmed one of these. I didn't like how it came out. I might post that on my Patreon, so you can check that out. Which, speaking of Patreon, please go subscribe to my Patreon, especially if you like behind-the-scenes content. I say as if I actually know what kind of behind-the-scenes content I'm going to make. I don't actually know at this point. What I would kind of like to do is research live streams where as I'm researching these different true crime and paranormal things, I go live and research with you guys and share my screen and we talk about it live and we chat. I think that'd be kind of fun. I also want to do watch-alongs, which eventually I'd like to do live. At this point, I'm not, but I would love to do those live too, where when I'm watching the different horror movies and horror TV shows for this podcast, I watch it and we'll watch it live together. It's a little bit of a watch-along. I'll put the timestamp in so you can watch with me, but if we do it live, I'll say it live and show you guys part of my screen so you can sync up with me. I'll make it easy for you guys, don't worry. I also would love to do some vlog type videos if that's something you're even interested in. I don't know if you want that, but if you do, I would love to do that. That'd be kind of fun. Where we're making and researching and doing things. I don't know. It's something we'll play with, something we'll talk about. I think regardless though, I do want to do a monthly live stream where we just chat. Maybe do a Q&A. We just talk about random stuff that's not true crime related. Just a little fun, get together kind of thing. If you guys want, who knows? We'll see. I will talk to you guys and see what we want. So I don't know the exact direction that we're going to go. I have a bunch of episodes planned. So we're going to just kind of go with what I'm feeling because this is just the vibe, It's just kind of the vibe. I don't know. I'm also going to have a Patreon exclusive Discord server where you do have to be 18 and up to join because we're not. You got to be 18 and up, not for any weird reasons. And on that note, this podcast might have some swearing in it. Sorry, Mom. Sorry to any of my family who watches this. This will have some swearing in it and some disturbing content in it. So I'm going to mark it as explicit. I apologize. but not really. This is my podcast and my platform. I can kind of do what I want with it. I'm not planning on dropping an F-bomb every other minute, but I'm gonna say fuck. So like, sorry. It's when I feel it's deserved, I'm gonna say it. Like, I don't know. This is my podcast. So yeah, I think that's all the benefits I wanted to talk about. The lowest tier will get you access to everything. The higher tiers are just kind of thank yous. I don't even have higher tiers available right now. Maybe once people start joining, I'll add them. But the higher tiers eventually will only be thank yous. I'll never raise the price of the lowest tier. It'll always stay the same. Unless inflation hits that bad, who knows? I don't want to actually promise that I'll never change the price, because who knows what inflation is going to do to us. But I can guarantee that no matter what the price is, the lowest tier will get you access to everything in my Patreon. Everything. I don't like tiered benefits. I don't like that where you pay more and you get more. I don't know. You pay me at all and I'm going to give you some benefits. I'm going to give you all the benefits. That sounds so wrong out of context. Please do not clip that. Oh, I'm definitely going to clip that. But other than my Patreon, maybe follow me on my social media. My personal social media is private and is going to stay private. If I want to create like a public social media for Gus, for me, then I don't know. I might do that at some point. But right now, at disgusting_podcast on almost every single social media platform is the best way to find me. You can also go to linktr.ee/disgusting.podcast. linktr.ee/disgusting.podcast, and that'll link you for all the social media and all the episodes and everything. Oh, I'm also going to put ad-free episodes on Patreon, so you can watch those without any ads on it. I got to make money somehow. I got to pay my bills. I want to go to school. That was something I wanted to mention. I do want to go to school. Although I don't have any degrees or any sort of qualifications, that doesn't mean I don't want them. I would love to go to school and study cryptozoology and parapsychology. Those are like the two big things I want to study. I would also love to study history. History has always been super fascinating to me. Everything along those lines. And I can absolutely immediately incorporate all of that right back into this podcast to make it way better than it is. So, I don't know. Help me out. Help me go to school. Help me do my thing. I don't know. But I definitely do want to go to school. I would love to study stuff and incorporate it back into this podcast. That sounds like a dream. That's like my ultimate dream, which is kind of why I'm doing this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where we go from here. And I don't know. I'm excited. So follow me on all my social media, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I don't know when exactly I'm posting this. It might be after Christmas, but before New Year. But episode 1 comes out on January 5th. And I'll give you a little bit of sneak peek because you're taking the time to listen to this. Hopefully before episode 1 comes out. If it's out already, then you're going to know what it is. It's in the thumbnail. Mothman. So if you're watching this before episode 1 comes out for whatever reason, thank you. And prepare for Mothman on January 5th. January 5th, the first Sunday of January of 2025, will be Mothman. Episode 1, Mothman, Disgusting Creatures. Mothman. So prepare for that and have a happy New Year or happy whatever you celebrate. Happy Christmas, happy Merry whatever, Happy Chrysler, Merry Christmas, whatever, all those things. And all of the other holidays that I didn't say because I only said Christmas and New Year. So happy to whatever you celebrate, and I hope that you're having a wonderful time during the holidays. I know sometimes it's not the best for everyone, but I hope that you are making the best of it, and I hope that this can help at least. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're doing. If you're watching this while cleaning, I hope that for whatever reason you're watching my intro while you're cleaning, I hope that you have a very good cleaning, and I hope that you have energy and that you have motivation and that it's not overwhelming for you, because wow, do I suffer with that. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you tuned into this, this is genuinely just kind of like a test and an introduction. So I appreciate it really if you did tune in for this. You're awesome. Thank you. And yeah, stay tuned for January 5th, Mothman. And then every Sunday after that for all of 2025, I have a bunch of episodes planned. So it's going to be a party. Well, I feel weird saying that. It's not going to be a party. We're going to be talking about some really disturbing stuff, but come along for the ride. It's going to be a roller coaster. I guess that's the best way to put it. A wild up and down roller coaster. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for listening. I hate long outros. I don't know why I'm still talking. So yeah. Okay. I don't know how to end this. And that's why we drink. Okay, fine, that's taken. I can't say that. But yeah, okay. Bye, guys.